Tonight we're talking about what will we gain through loss. Mark chapter 8. We're reading verse 34. What will we gain through loss? And when he had called the people unto him, and his disciples also, and said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For what will it say? For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel, the same shall save it. For what would it profit a man if he gained the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what would a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in his glory of his Father with the holy angels. God, I pray you, God, bless you reading the word tonight. God, I pray, Lord, you just be with us in this message. God, I pray that it will help us, God, walk closer to thee. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Why is this world that we live in so selfish and always want something for nothing? If you want a free lunch, you're on the wrong planet. It's not going to happen. If anything in this life is worth having, it's going to cost you something. I want what Elisha said to Elijah to give him in 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 9. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask me what I will do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. I want a double portion of God's spirit to be upon me. I want to see souls saved. I want to bring people to the Master. I want people to have a life that they cannot get from anything or anywhere else but through Jesus. That's what I want to gain. And that's what I want you to gain in this life. But it may take some loss to gain this. Well, number one tonight, it's going to take self-denial. So we're just going to go through those verses that we read. Verse 34, he said, you need to deny yourself. Because you know what? Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Sometimes it's us that's stopping the blessings and the Holy Spirit speaking to us because we won't get ourselves out of the way. Well, Mark was saying here, you know, you need to deny yourself. If you're going to follow Jesus, first you need to deny yourself. You need to tell yourself that you're going to follow Jesus, so that means that you're going to have some change. Oh, man. People don't like change, but if you're going to follow Christ, you're going to have some change. For some of us, that may be a lot to change. That we may have to change our whole outlook on life if we're going to follow Jesus. But you know what? I'm telling you, if you make up your mind that you're going to change, you're going to follow Christ, He will help you make those changes. Are you willing to make those changes? Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's hard. Well, we've always done it like this. I never did like that. We've always done it like this, you know, and so we just, well, you know what, if we've always done it like this and it's not working, let's change and do something else, because it's obviously not working. Now, and that's why whenever someone comes to me with an idea, and it sounds like a good idea, and I think, well, you know what, we've been doing this, we've been beating this dead horse for so long, and it doesn't seem to be working, let's change something up, and let's do something a little bit different, and let's get the ball rolling, it may work. You never know what's going to work. Well, is your family going to back you in those changes? If they're not, it's going to be a problem. If you've made up your mind you're going to live for God, you're going to put God first in your life, and you're going to follow Him, and you're going to make some changes, if your family's not going to back you up, it's going to be tough. You can't be done, it's going to be tough. You only have one chance with your kids. Do all you can do. Do all you can do. There will be some times that there'll be some things that they may do that you may not approve of, but you never stop loving them. If you don't love them, someone else will. And that someone else that may love them may not be of God, may not be a Christian, may not be following God, may not have made up their mind to make a change to follow God. but they'll find somebody. They'll find somewhere where they feel like they're loved and they're cared for, and the people that they're with care about them. So you be that person. You be that person that loves them and never stops praying for them. I'm saying, I love that verse, hold true to that verse. Is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. They're going to know when they stand before God, if you've done all that you have, all that you can do, and you've talked to them till you're blue in the face, or whatever the case may be, when they stand before God, they're going to know that you tried to do all that you could do. But if you're not doing anything, if you're just letting them run amok in life, and you're not really having, you have no range or no control over them, you know what? You're going to stand before God, and He's going to ask you, why did you do this? Why didn't you tell your family, your children especially, that, they need to live for God. They need to put God first in their life. Nobody knows what somebody else is thinking. Nobody knows what somebody else has in their heart and in their life. Only that person and God. So we need to do the best we can to get those people involved. I give out some lists at the Sunday school, the teachers meeting, and there are several names on some of these lists. And some of the people, are going to different classes. I said, you know what? If these people don't go to your class, you need to contact them somehow. We have addresses and phone numbers, because you know what? They're probably just not going anywhere. Or maybe they're just sitting at home, they sleep in late, they don't come to Sunday school, and they could be in Sunday school. They would help them and also help that class with them being there. Anyway, so we're going to work on that and try and get that taken care of. You know what? You need to train the children, or train them the best you can, but never stop praying for them. Never stop praying for them. The world that we live in has so many things the devil is using to try and get them off track, to try and stop them, to try and take them down the wrong road. If you're not careful, if you don't keep close reins on it, they may end up in the wrong place with the wrong people, and then it may be a bad situation. Well, number two, you can't be selfish. The Bible says there in verse 35, He says, you know what? Whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. You know what? There's going to be some persecution. Not persecution like it is in other countries, but you know what? There's going to be some persecution. You may be called some names. Some people may slam the door in your face when you try and go out and knock doors, or whatever the case may be. You're going to face a little bit of persecution. You can't save your life. We just read you'll lose it if you try and save it. Don't be selfish when it comes to God. I don't think God asks us too much. Used to be, in the Bible times, they went to church every day. Because you know what? They wanted to stay close to God. They had that zeal and that burning in their heart and mind and their spirit that they wanted to be close to God. I don't think God ever asked us to do too much. He paid the price so that we could have, so we wouldn't have to. Now, I want to point something out to you. Mark adds those words and the Gospels, thereby teaching us that suffering for the sake of, we're going to be suffering for the sake of the Gospels. Because in Matthew, it doesn't say that in Matthew. Matthew chapter 16, verse 25, the same account, it says, for whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall for my sake shall find it. And it says it's the same thing in the book of Luke. But Mark pointed out, you know what? He said, well, whosoever will lose his life for my sake and the gospel. It's important that, you know what, we proclaim the gospel, the good news, the truth. Because you know what? A lot of people don't live right because they don't know to live right. They don't know what the Bible says. They're spiritually discerned, as the Scripture says. And so we need to make sure that we're proclaiming the gospel, the good news. We had 2 new visitors today, huh? We went out last Tuesday, Wednesday, with Frank and I. I'm telling you, if you will go, they'll show. Now we've got a good group here. You know why? Because I'm praying earnestly that you'll get involved. You'll, number one, be in church. Number two, you'll try and get yourself plugged in to maybe a class, to maybe something that we're doing to try and help our church grow and move forward for Christ. I think if we owe anything, we owe that to God. We owe that to Pastor Long to try and move this church forward for Christ. We may suffer to gain, but we're suffering for Jesus as Jesus suffered, but not fully. I doubt very seriously any of us in this room right here are going to die on a cross. I doubt very seriously. I don't think it's probably going to happen tomorrow or the next day, But as time goes on, it's going to get harder and harder and harder for the church. It's going to be more and more difficult for the church. What they'd like to do is they'd like to take tax exemption away from the church to where they'd be taxing the church. And you know what? That would separate the men from the boys. I don't just give my tithes so I can write it off of my taxes. I give my tithes because that's what the Bible says. But you know what? If you weren't able to write it off on your taxes as a charitable income, you might not do it. So that's where the separation comes from. They're fighting on that. They're fighting that all the time to try and do that because you know what? The world doesn't like the church. The world doesn't like what the church stands for. The world, you know what? Brother Marcus showed me a deal. He got off the internet. Now you only have to be a licensed preacher to do a marriage. Because you know what? They don't think marriage is that important. It's actually harder to get a divorce than it is to get married. You can download it off the internet. He showed me a thing he downloaded off the internet as far as the license you can get where now you can marry people. You know what? They can have that. If I never had to do another wedding the rest of my life, I would have been happy. I'm telling you, you know what? Yeah, I'm not even going to go down that road, but I'm just, you know what, I've had a few, you know what, the perfect wedding I had was right here in the front, lasted 7 minutes. They came right straight from the gym, they were going to Jamaica, they were going to, another place down south, Cancun. They were going to Cancun, they were going to get married there, taking the whole family down there. I found out that marriage certificate or that license from there would not be valuable here. So Melissa calls me up one day, I think maybe I told you before, and she said, hey, my friend needs to get married, they're going to Cancun, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Can you do it? I said, for $1,000, I'll do anything. Woo! So the girl got on, she called me, and I said, well, yeah, I can do that for you. About $1,000, I can take care of that. Then there was a silence. She said, really? I said, no, $950 are covered. Don't even worry about that. That was best because I knew she had to have this done because they were leaving, like this was on a Wednesday, they were leaving on that following Friday. I probably could have squeezed $1,000 out of them, but I didn't do it. And they came down here right straight from the gym. I said, you take this home with me, your wife? She said, I do. You take this guy, do you want to marry this guy? She said, I do. We signed the certificate. I now pronounce you man and wife for the power that vested in me by the state of California. Bam, you're married. Yeah, they high-fived. They didn't want to kiss. They were waiting that because the thing was, Grandma was going to Cancun and she didn't know that it wasn't going to be real. So they went to this, they had the whole nice ceremony and everything, but you know what? That was the best wedding I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm telling you, man. And then one guy handed me $40, the other guy handed me a gift card to Black Angus, man. I'm telling you, you know the way through the guy's heart is through his stomach. I'm telling you, that's it. But that's the best one. I hate those ones where they had to walk to me and say, we have 7 pages, Pastor, of reading for you. I was like, no, you don't. I have a black book. You're going to pick one out there, I ain't going to do it. Our black book has 5 in there. If you want to, and I even wrote one for this last weekend. They wanted a little bit of this one, a little bit of this one. I said, don't worry, I'll just put something together. She said, yeah, we trust you. I said, and it worked out. So it lasted 12 and a half minutes. Pretty good, you know. Worked out. The faster, the quicker, the better. But you know what? If you want to get one of those licenses to be ordained off the internet, go ahead. I'll hook you up. Every time they call me, I'll call you. You can take care of that wedding, especially the freebies. Anyways, but you know what? None of us are going to die on the cross. None of us are going to. But you know what? This world, this next election, is going to be important. You'll be praying for our country. Praying for those that are in those offices. Praying that God will still have His hand upon this country. Because you know what? I think one time God had His hand right on this country. Now I think it's kind of like this. Yeah. Because man has turned their back on God. Man has denied God. Man has said, you know what? We don't need God. We'll do it ourselves. You know what? Whenever you say that, you're playing the fight. Right. Because the Bible says the fearful thing will fall in the hands of a living God. Right. And that's what this world is going to do. I'm telling you, if you just read between the lines, just watch it on television, or read some of the newspaper of some of the things that they're trying to do. I never dreamed in my entire life that they'd come up with the same-sex marriage deal. They're pushing that all the time. All the time. And it's not legal in every state. And you know, in some of the states that they think it's legal, it's not legal, but they're still doing it. I'm thinking, that was above their head. they've been living together forever, why didn't they get married? Well, because that's just the way the world's going. The world is just going down the tube. We need to pray that God will help us. You never know what's going to happen before Jesus comes back. We would be secretly beating in somebody's garage before that. You know, because, you know, who knows what's going to happen, because you never know. Jesus is asking here, if you would gain everything, well, hold on a minute. Number 3, we need to realize that sin is unprofitable. Verse 36, for what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? Gain everything. You know what? If you're smart, you get your money back. You wouldn't want to gain everything, because I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Jesus is asking here, what if you gain everything that this world has to offer and ended up in hell? What good would that do you? That would do you no good whatsoever. You know what? And there's a lot of people that are just trying to get everything they can get. Buy everything they can buy. Do everything they can do. You know what? What's going to be scary is when they go through all that and they still don't have Jesus and they have to face God face to face and they end up in hell. You can't take it with you. Pastor Long used to say you never see a U-Haul trailer hooked to the back of a hearse because you can't take it with you. Is that and the only thing is nothing lasts forever except Jesus in eternity. What do you have in this life that you would exchange for your place in heaven? I hope you're thinking nothing.
Right.
You're thinking of something. I pray that God convicts you and says, you know what, nothing in this world is worth missing heaven.
Right.
I'm telling you, nothing in this world is worth missing the best thing that could ever happen to you. You can't profit in this life living a sinful life, as far as God's concerned. I've told you before, I'll tell you again, I'll always tell you this, you can't live wrong and die right.
That's right.
You can't do it. You may think you can, you may try to do it. It may be pretty easy to live by, but it's going to be a scary one to die by. When you stand face to face, you say, oh, you know what, I don't really believe that. Well, you know what, don't believe it. Live like you want, do what you want, but one day you will believe it, because the Bible says, one day every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that He is Lord. And when that happens, you're going to wish, and you're going to pray, you're going to beg, you're going to fall and scream and scratch or whatever, and beg God to give you another chance. But you know what God's going to say? I'm sorry. Do I know you? What we need is a pure dedication to Jesus. I wouldn't trade anything in this life for Jesus and His love. I wouldn't. You know what? If I've got something that you needed, you wanted, I'd probably give it to you. There's nothing I hold on to so dearly that I would exchange my soul for it.
That's right.
You know, I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven.
That's right.
I make mistakes. I thank God for His grace. But you know what? Every time I make a mistake, I want to learn from that mistake and make sure I don't make that mistake over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know what? Some mistakes people make, and it becomes a way of life for them. They don't even think about it anymore. They've gotten callous, and they don't even think about it when it could be sin, and it could be that thing that will keep you out of heaven. But yet you've done it for so long. Oh, we've always done it this way. Well, you know what? You may be doing it that way and end up in hell. You need to change some things in your life. You need to make God first place in your life. If you're not going to do it, you know what? Then why are you coming to church? What are you wasting your time for? I'm not trying to run you off. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, you know what? It's important. We put God first in our life. I want to walk on the streets of gold. I want to hold the Master's hand in one hand and my Dad's hand in the other, as we walk on the streets of gold. There's something that He, there's some things that He never told me about. And when I get there, I'm going to say, Dad, you and I need to have a talk. You didn't tell me about this, you didn't tell me about this, and man, you should have told me about this. And he's just going to have that big smile on his face and say, well, I knew you could take care of it, I knew you could handle it, because nobody told me when I started. I can just imagine it right now. I'm looking forward to Jesus breaking through those eastern skies what's going to be? It's going to be so awesome to watch that all unfold. And we're going to be standing there, you know, and all of a sudden we're just going to start going up in the air, and you're going to think, man alive, is this it? Yes, that'll be it. It'll be in. And you know what? But some of you will be standing here and you won't be going anywhere. Or we'll all meet Him in the clouds. I want to be in the light, nice, white, fluffy cloud. I don't want to be in the dark, dreary cloud that has lightning bolts coming out of it. I don't want to be in that cloud. Well, finally, it's spiritual loss. Verse 37, what will a man gain? Well, what shall a man give in exchange for his own soul? This is what's so sad. When it's all said and done, the lost, they would trade back anything and everything for a place in heaven. There will be. The Bible says that there'll be some that will be crying for the rocks to fall on them to hide them from the face of God. They'll be willing to trade anything and everything to get that place back in heaven, to get that, and especially if they knew and they had a spot at one time, their name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life, but some reason, something happened, and God blotted their name out, and no longer will He stop building their mansion, or He finished and gave it to someone else, with somebody else's name on the block or on the front door, or whatever the case was, and they're going to know and they're going to wish and they're going to trade whatever they can. God, please give me the chance. I promise I'll serve you. I promise I'll love you. I promise that I'll follow you. But then it will be entirely too late. I don't want to, you know what? I don't want to witness that when it unfolds. I don't want to see people begging for another chance, promising that they'll be good and they'll accept Jesus, and that part would be awful. You know, it's whenever, you know, there's some kids that just need to have their backside tanned up a little bit, you know, I'm telling you. But you know, when you see those little children, they're just so sweet and so innocent, and they're just going through it. And they, you know, and they would do anything to live in your house. They would do anything to have you love them. Some of our kids, you know, I told we said, you know, you don't hug them if they come up and wrap their arms around you. Well, that's a different thing in your Sunday school classes. But you know what? Some of the kids we have here, if you went to their home, you'd say, how in the world can people live there? What are they going through? There's some houses on Humberley Glen. You go in those homes, you think, man alive, what in the world is going on here? They'd love to live in your house. You know what? They don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But it happens. But you know what? Some of these people, some of these parents are going to be begging God for another chance. And the worst part about it is when you stand before God and you knew the truth, and you depart from it. The Bible says it'd be better for you not to know it than know it and depart from it. Right. You know what? If you know the truth and you stand there, you're not going to be able to give any excuse. None of us are, but you're especially not going to be able to give an excuse. Well, I just didn't quite believe it. That didn't matter. I didn't think it was good. That doesn't matter. I didn't like what it said. That doesn't matter. Right. None of it matters, because God's going to say, you know what? Depart from me. I never knew you, or enter in, thou good and faithful servant. He's going to say one of two things. Or he's going to say, yeah, I know you. Or he's going to say, wait a minute, I don't think I recognize you. Whatever the case is, how he's going to do it, it's going to be a real thing. And if you're just kind of floating through life, not believing it, well, you know what? You're going to be sorry when you face it, because I honestly believe with all my heart, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, it's going to happen. Right. And you know whose face you're going to see? Pastor Long's face or my face? Or somebody that's preached to you or witnessed to you. You're going to see their face, and you're going to hear those words, and you're going to wish you'd have done something. You're going to wish you'd have done something. You know what? You say, well, Brother Gary, you know, we're pretty much all home folks here. Well, you know what? Sometimes all home folks get complacent in the way that they do and the way they sit, and they don't want to change anything. They don't want to improve themselves. They don't want to grow. You know, or sometimes growing is dying, and they're not doing a thing. Just sitting on a pew, just coming week after week after week after week, and thinking that, you know what, everything's going to be okay. Let me tell you something. It's not. Just because you're a member here, just because you come here, just because you sit in these nice fucking pews or whatever the case is, because you sing your songs, whatever you do, that's not going to be it. It's got to be, it's got to be a real relationship. If it's not, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're not wasting my time, because I'll be here regardless. I'm here regardless. But I hope and pray that you're not wasting your time. I hate to end a message on a negative point, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to start right now. Look at verse 38. Verse 38, he said, "Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in his glory of the Father and the holy angels." But you know what? If we're not ashamed of him, we're going to be with him.
Right.
We're going to be in that nice white fluffy cloud, just kind of laying back for that ride to heaven. Or however it's going to happen. You know what? When we preach, you tell how it's going to happen. But I'm just telling you, I'm thinking it's going to be nice. You know what I always wanted? And I had it one time. A nice hammock on the back patio. My dog ate that thing. It's not legal to kill your dog, but then I'm going to. And down the dog only ate the vital parts that kind of hook from this end to this end. Just not the place where you lay. That was fine, laying there on the ground. You just chewed through the ropes on the ends. Man, why would a dog do that? But you know what? That's kind of, you know, have you ever laid in a hammock and on a nice cool day and just kind of rocking back and forth? That's how I think it's going to be when we're on that cloud going to heaven. You just kind of rocking back and forth. I have to move back and forth all the time because this right leg goes to sleep out there. I have to keep walking, keep moving so I can wake it up. But I'm telling you, you know what? Right then, I won't have that problem. I won't have that problem. I'll get that new body. I'll get that body that's going to live forever. It's going to be about 165 pounds. I'm pushing that right now. I've got to go up to weight. You got some weight. Don't easy. You got some weight. You got some weight. You don't even go like that. Don't even go that way. I'm about 165 pounds. Right now I'm about 206. I'm a good, I'm a petite 206. Right then, when I get that new body, God's going to say, you know, that's pretty much what his height is. I mean, that's 7'4". That's how he should be if he's, 206. But we're going to put him right there. We're going to put him at his height about 165, 162, right about there, maybe 155, something like that. It's going to be perfect.
Red hair.
A full head of red hair. Just like Jesus has.
Long hair.
And the Apostle Paul, they're both red hairs. I'm telling you, Paul had a problem. That was it. People make fun of him because he had red hair. He said, "God, I came to you 3 times. He said, my grace is sufficient for you." I love you in red hair, Paul. You look good. Got a little pale skin there. Just tell your friends to stay out of it. Anyway. But you know what? It's going to be perfect. Man, it's going to be perfect. And the worst part about it's going to be is hearing, and I don't know if you will, those cries of people begging God to give them a chance.
Right.
Somebody on that black cloud, that lightning bolt come out trying to jump on my cloud. I said, "I'm sorry. Man, I wish I could help you. If I could, I'd throw you a rope. But I can't. I can't help you. I'm sorry. And the worst part about it's going to be is if I knew you. If I knew you. I'm going to want to throw you something, a rope, a belt, a shoestring, or something before you go over on my cloud. But you know what? God said, you know what? It's not going to happen that way.
That's right.
He's going to separate us somehow.
That's right.
And you know what? My prayer is to go to heaven when I die. Number 2, to take as many people with me as I possibly can. Because I don't want anybody to end up in hell. Don't deny Christ. Don't deny him. I don't want to witness the unfolding of how it's going to happen. But you know what? I'm going to deny Christ. Don't be ashamed of his word or the fact that you're a Christian, that you made it. The Christians win in the end. You can read it. It's all in this book. You can read it. The Christians win in the end. Now I'm going to have to lose out on a few things in order to get to heaven. I'm going to have to miss out on some hangovers. I'm going to miss out on a smoke-filled room or smoke-filled lungs. I'm going to miss out on HIV from sharing dirty needles. I'm going to miss out on that. I'm glad I'm going to miss out on that. I'm going to miss out on all the evilness in this world. I have to miss out on that. I'm going to get involved in that. Because you know why? Because I choose Jesus.
Amen.
I choose Jesus. In conclusion, those verses 34 to 38, or 37 sticks out. Well, what shall a man gain if he exchange his soul? What will a man give in exchange for his soul?
That's right.
There is hope for you, for your family, for this world, and that hope is Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Choose Jesus. Don't ever get complacent and sit on the stool and do nothing, saying, I shall not be moved. Well, I'm come tonight. Just go ahead and try and bless me, Pastor. No. I've come tonight. God, please give me a blessing.
That's
There's nothing I can do is going to do it for you. It's going to have to be the Holy Spirit. It's going to have to be God. Man alive, I'm telling you when we stand. You know what? Some of you have had loved ones that have gone on. Don't you want to see them again?
Yeah.
I bet you Anastasia would give anything in her, anything this world has to offer just to have one more day without her trying. Let's stand together tonight.